What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. It is Tuesday, and we are live on IG and on YouTube. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and the message out. Help a brother out. As you guys know, it is a talk show. You know how it goes. So you can call in at any point during the show by calling 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we can get into whatever you want to get into. Any topics, any questions, any comments, we could talk about it. But if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description. Or go directly to YouTube, right? The super chat button. Click that in the live chat area. And you can send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. And we'll have some fun. You know what I mean? And the support and donations are much appreciated. So you do have those options. Amazing stuff. And as you guys know, we are on audio podcast. Joel Friday TV podcast is on audio only on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Substack, all those audio-only platforms. You can find the Joel Friday TV podcast if you search Joel Friday TV. You know what I'm saying? Amazing stuff. Shout out to YouTube live chat, the Snake Pit, and shout out to the mod squad, the mods in the Snake Pit holding it down. As always, incredible stuff. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the IG chat, the Lion's Den. Shout out to the peeps over there holding it down as well. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. Amazing stuff. We got some stuff to talk about today. We got some stuff to talk about today. We're getting into it. We getting into it. Let me see here. Cause we got some clips to play. So let me see. You know, Frederick said, better not be about no snow bunnies, Joel. Hey, the snow bunnies need some love too, Frederick. Come on, man. Snow bunnies need some love too. No, but so as some of you guys know about the the topic at hand today, the root of the downfall of Western culture, I wanted to get into that because that's what's important to me. You know what I mean? That's what makes the most sense to me. I think everybody has their own topics of interest on the network, which is so interesting, right? There's a little bit of everything on the network so far. And people just gravitate towards their interests. My interest tends to be on, spiritual things and relationship stuff and men and women's issues and stuff like that. I enjoy talking about it. And I don't purposely pick it out or try to that's my lane. These are just the things that interest me. So we're going to get into the downfall of Western culture and how I see it, the root cause of it, how I see the root cause of it to be. So I was on YouTube, And the clip I want to show you is from whatever podcast, okay? I really don't like watching these shows, the whatever podcast. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it at all. Zero. I never watch a full episode. And no shade to them. You know, they do what they do. It's just not for me. Sometimes I'll catch some clips or some shorts here and there that, like, you know, help make my point on a podcast like today, for example, but not a fan of the show. A reason being is because I don't think that they really care about getting to the truth of things. And it's more so about fighting. That's just my opinion. More so about slander. And yeah, I don't really understand the point of those shows other than for the views. I don't really understand the point. I guess it's supposed to, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's supposed to help like the females that go on the show. Because for those that don't know whatever podcast, they get a bunch of females that are like either porn stars or OnlyFans models, and they put them on a panel with like more intellectual guests, whether it be guys or girls, and they kind of just like are like, I guess going to war, so to speak, for the restoration of humanity. That's how they kind of like put it. Because I've heard other like podcasters talk about that show, and they talk about it like culture war, whatever. But yeah, I think it's just one of those battles that really don't have a winner. It's just who can say the best talking points. So it don't interest me, but for the sake of today, we got into it. So this is from YouTube, and it'll all make sense. I'll bring my point together. Is a male guest on the whatever podcast criticizes female OnlyFans model guest. So that's the first clip I'm going to show you guys. Let me see and pull it up here. Yeah, it's a guest that was on the whatever podcast, and he's like really criticizing this OnlyFans models, but she's also throwing it back, you know. And it was an interesting thing to watch, and I want to show you guys, and then we'll kind of get into it. We'll break it down. Let me see. Here we go.
And don't worry, I'm not really talking to you. I'm speaking against you as a symbol. Mm-hmm. So don't take personal offense to it. As a symbol, which is what? A symbol of what? A symbol of a declining society where people lack values. Mm-hmm. So the point is this. If you had IQ and skills to offer to the marketplace, you can earn a good income. Being that the most valuable thing about you is something that you never earned. You didn't earn knowledge. You didn't earn skills. It's your breast that you're paid for and your so you market that to earn money. If you weren't doing OnlyFans, how would you earn a 6-figure plus income?
There's no skills that I have at all.
You're trying to escape.
There's nothing.
But I'm saying
there's no skills. No, you're right.
Because you're a cocktail server in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's nothing else that I have to offer.
And she's trying to play it off right now. And that's a strategy. Very nice.
What's the strategy? Tell us.
Please. But the fact is, I live in Las Vegas. I've seen your type many times. Generally, they're younger.
Gotcha.
But the point is this.
Old, I know, man.
No, really. Honestly, they should be firing you.
Someone marries me.
Yeah, no, they should be. I don't know about that, but they should certainly be firing you and get someone of the appropriate age to do such a low-level job.
Oh, yeah.
But the point is this.
So, as you can see there, the guy is just telling the girl about it. And he's not saying he's not saying the wrong things. He's saying all the right things, right? Those are the right things. That's just the truth about the matter. You know what I mean? That is, really how it goes. The women typically are using, it doesn't really take a lot of skill to present themselves online. They just have to look really good. And he's saying all the right things, right? But my issue is this, and I do this as well too. So I'm also included in the bunch of guys who do this. But the thing is, it's the right words, but the wrong spirit, right? And this guy is dumb. You know what I mean? Because anybody who do this, and like I said, I probably did it this week. So I'm dumb too. But this guy is dumb and he thinks he's smart. And, you think that he told her off and he exposed it. But it's from the wrong spirit. There's no love in what he was doing. He was criticizing her. And at times criticism can be love, yeah, but that's not, that's just not the vibe I got from it when I'm watching him do it. Right? He's just trying to put this girl down because in his mind, it seems like he believes that these OnlyFans models are degrading society, which is true. This stuff kind of does, dumb down people. So I'm not denying that. But it just comes off as judgmental. So the reason why I bring that up because it brought me to the next point of what the real downfall of society is, right? Because this man thinks that, and I don't know why these girls go on this show, probably just for clout. They probably just want something out of it, right? So you can't feel bad for nobody. And plus these girls are involved in things that, that they live the life that they live. But I don't understand why they come on there because other than to get some views, the guys don't try to understand where they're coming from, and then the girls don't try to understand where the guy's coming from. Nobody's really trying to get to the truth. Like I said, they just want to get up there and do what they do. So my issue is that this guy seems to think that the women are the reason that these type of women, the OnlyFans women, are the reason that society is what it is. And, because they believe into these things and they go out freely and openly and they deceive men and they trick men and they are out there just being Jezebels, right? And it's like, you are the problem. But let me ask, and then we'll get to the next clip. Let me ask, is that when you cut a chicken's head off, what happens? When you cut a chicken's head off, what happens? The chicken goes wild. It's the same exact thing as when you take men out of society. The women and children run wild. That's just what it is. You cut the head off, which is the men. Then the women go out of control. The women and children go out of control. It's not rocket science. It's just the facts. That's just how it works. And it ain't putting down women saying, oh, well, do you think that we're nothing without men? Yeah, kinda. Because men lead the way. Now, of course, women can also find God and be led. But men, there's an anointing that comes from men that are supposed to set the example for women, even though women still also can find God. They still can't lead, right? Meaning that their responsibility of leading is very limited, right? So naturally, when the head is missing, the woman is going to go out of control in the same way that when God is missing God is missing out of the man's life, his life is out of control. It's the same exact thing. So the man and most men do this, including myself, would, sometimes want to point the finger or say that, oh, the woman is the problem of society. If we just didn't have porn, if we just didn't have, like Candace Owens wants to ban porn. That's silly. It's silly. It's not going to change anything. It's not the issue. It's not the problem. I need my folks in the chat to calm down. I need my mods to I think I see some people fighting in the chat. What I need my mods to get that together. So anyway, distracted. Yeah, that's not banning porn or banning prostitution or banning naked videos. It's not going to solve the problem. And those who, the women who are on the other side of that, who make a lot of money, buku money off of these things, they're also not the problem. Problem is the men. The men are the problem. So I got another clip that I want to show you guys from YouTube, and it kind of further makes the point that I'm trying to make. And by the way, don't believe nothing I say. This is just my opinion. I can always be wrong. So think for yourself and know for yourself. You know what I mean? So let me go to the next clip. This is from YouTube. Sadia Khan speaks on the reason for the success of OnlyFans at its root. Okay, here we go.
The man that's subscribing to the OnlyFans is the real issue in society. It's not the OnlyFans content creators. We need to focus on the subscribers.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
the real problem.
There
the epidemic.
wouldn't be a single OnlyFans woman if there weren't millions of...
For every one OnlyFans that you losers in the comment always try and cuss and insult, there's thousands and millions of you for every one content creator. So the issue in society is not the content creators. The issue is the subscribers. And they're the people we should be shaming. So I'll see sometimes on these shows, where they have these podcasts where they have all these OnlyFans girls come on and they think they're really smug for making fun of these OnlyFans girls. Why don't we get a panel of the subscribers? They're the issue in society. They're the ones that make billions and billions. They're the ones that, I'm a Muslim woman, you're a man, whatever it is. So we've got certain kind of morals that stop it. But if I wasn't, and if you're a woman and someone says, can I, for a picture of your toe, I'll give you £10,000. Not many people are going to say no to that. So we need to focus on the person that's subscribing.
Interesting. So 100%, it's the subscriber. It's the subscriber. It's not the models. It's not the girls. It's not the girls. It's the subscriber. It is the ones who pay the girls the money. It's the men who give the attention. Right? Those are the issues. And us men as men have to start taking responsibility for that and be honest about that. And it's not the promiscuous woman. It's not I'm trying to use the clean words, promiscuous. We'll just say promiscuous. It's not the promiscuous woman that's the problem. Because she's only promiscuous because she knows that that's the way she gets attention from the man. So it's the man. It's still the man. It's a weak man. If the man wasn't weak and he said no to it and ignored it, and all men did it, right? All men overcame that, then women would have no choice but to overcome their promiscuity, or they would be a lesbian and date other promiscuous women. That's just how it have to be, right? So it's not the drug dealer, it's the drug user. And we always want to point to the top, right? And be like, well, if this wasn't this, if we ban porn, no, it's not the case. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Because for one, you can never ban porn, right? It's like banning guns. You can't do it because people are still going to find ways to have guns. You can't ban. You'd have to get rid of every single gun in the world for that to be possible. It just doesn't work. They're going to find ways to still do that thing. So the issue is, how do we get back to morals and values? That's the concern. That's the only concern. But nobody's concerned about it. Everybody wants to change, besides the Bond Network and JLP and the guys here, right? And a lot of the viewers and watchers, and I'm sure there's other people in the world. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a spiritual thing. It's morals and values, right? But not morals and values for the sake of having them. Because I drop those. I always talk about that. Drop those morals and values. I'm talking about the morals and values of the heart, right? Becoming the morals and the values, not following the morals and values. That's the wrong way, in my opinion. You got to become them. And you only become them by God renewing the mind. I think. I'm just playing, but that's what I believe. God has to renew the mind. And I've went so many years trying to just just follow these rules, and it ain't bring me nothing but stress. So you got to become the rules by God renewing the mind. But back to the point. And then we can get to some calls as well. 888-775-3773. Back to the point is it comes down to just this. And if we could just understand just simply this part, I think things can start making sense and start to change. You know what I mean? Just this simple thing is that women follow men no matter what, period. Period, end of story. I don't care if she believes she's independent. I don't care if she believes that she doesn't need a man. I don't care if she makes more than a man. I don't care if she changed all the body parts, right? At the end of the day, women follow men. And they even follow men into the dark. They even follow men right to destruction. Why? Because men are made to set the example. We're created to set the example. We're created to lead. And leading could also be leading to destruction, leading to darkness, leading to the light, right? Regardless of how you put it, we lead, men. So if we're weak, the women are weak. That's it. If we're in hell, the women go in hell. But when the women go in hell, it's a different type of hell. You know what I'm saying? They're lost in hell. And we come in and out, but they're in there lost. And once Satan gets the mind, you can hang it up, right? So the issue and the downfall of society comes from men being weak. And all of these OnlyFans girls and all of these, porn stars and all that stuff, they're not the problem. Well, they're not the problem. Because they would have no job if it wasn't for, men who watch it and view it. So we're leading the way by watching, because we're telling the ladies that we like this and we like that you do this for us. So keep doing it. Same reason why women wear a lot of makeup. Same reason why women dress half naked. It's all part of the fantasy. And women will do it just because they want us. Even though they don't know that. They want us and they want our attention. They want us and they want our attention. They really want love from us. That's really what they're looking for. They're looking for love, but they'll take the other things. So if you see something you don't like in a woman, just know it's because some man messed up. Really. At the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. Yeah, it's cool, but it doesn't have to be. Let's see. Men don't go on OnlyFans, just stop. I don't even listen. I'm not telling men to stop watching that stuff. I'm not telling men to stop going on OnlyFans and stop subscribing. I'm not telling men to stop chasing the promiscuous women. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's also a setup. I'm saying just be aware of what's going on. Because if you don't truly understand what's going on, then that's a problem too, right? I'm not saying because you really can't stop doing something anyway, right? You really can't just quit. Like, oh, I'm just gonna quit. I mean, some people say that you can, and shoot, maybe you can, but I just don't see it that way. Just to be able to just drop it. I believe that, like, I don't know, that God has to intervene. But maybe I'm missing something, which is possible. But the point is that I'm not saying for you to just drop those things. I'm just saying that understand what's going on and just be aware. And be aware. Because it's not always easy to drop it. I know that for sure. It's not always easy to just stop doing something or just walk the right path or just, not judge and be of love and be a strong man and be an alpha male. You know what I mean? But it's just as good to recognize where you're falling short, where your weaknesses, right? So, man, it's us. It ain't the women. And of course, they got their own lives to deal with, and they got to take responsibility for themselves, and they got to be honest, and they got to overcome too, right? But we lead the way. Christ Conqueror says, hard disagree, Joel. Oh, which part? Oh, shoot. Amazing Asia says, we're closer to the ground. Our hell is way more intense. Amazing is a lady, so she's saying that women are closer to the ground, so their hell is more intense. I believe it. I believe that. And then the ladies also think that it's personal. It's a personal attack. Like, it doesn't, just because you agree with it doesn't mean it's a personal attack. You know what I mean? Christ Conscious says, strong men beat back the encroachment of evil upon society to bring about more righteous men. However, virtue cannot be taught. It comes by way of the Holy Spirit. So it is right to hold evil accountable, not just blaming men. Yeah, the Holy Spirit has to act upon our behalf because we don't have the power to do anything, right? We don't have the power to do anything. So if I just say, if I go around and I say, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol, right? Doesn't mean it's going to, doesn't mean I'm just going to stop drinking alcohol. Just because I say, or like I go through the motions, it has not, any of my vices that I've dealt with throughout my life that I tried to put down and stuff, they didn't drop or whatever just by me like preventing them or staying away from them. That's just not how they fell away. So that's why I say it's awareness is more valuable to me. And honesty. Like, look, God, this is out of control. I see for sure that I'm acting up and this is not of the light of noble character or whatever. I see that, I know. Is that I find that more valuable than trying to feel guilty, for one, and for two, trying to now make yourself trying to fight it and make yourself pretend like you're something you're not. So anyway, let me take a call. There's some lines open, y'all. 888-775-3773. Call in. Get it off your chest. Let me know your thoughts, what you think. Yeah. Let me go to Jaime out of Minnesota. Jaime, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, Joel?
All is well. How are you?
Same. I was thinking about what you were talking about and the decline of the woman. I believe it's because of feminism.
You think so?
Feminist ideas. This phenomenon of OnlyFans has come about because women have swallowed the lie of feminism.
And you think
that part is on them to change. No matter, even if the men stop watching or whatever, they will still continue to do it. Except maybe in a different way.
Oh, you think if men stop watching it, the women would continue to do it?
As long as they have the feminist idea, the spirit of feminism in them.
But how could they, if they get no results from it, why would they want to keep doing it?
Now, I'm not saying that OnlyFans won't exist anymore. I'm saying they will do something else.
So, right. So if you...
They will find another way to make that manifest.
Well, I think that the only reason why I don't think that they would if men, I mean that they could, you're right, there is a chance that they would still try to find a way to get off their like anger or whatever the case is, or hate. But I feel like if men stopped believing into it or giving into it or just were strong, then naturally it would have no power. So there wouldn't be as many feminists. There wouldn't be it wouldn't like fumble into OnlyFans and all these other things. That wouldn't be the case because all those things are driven by the eyes and attention of men.
Well, there's money in it, sure, and where there's money, you're going to have an influx of people trying to get that money. But those feminists have always been there, you know. What I'm saying is, say somebody heard that they could make $100,000 a year on OnlyFans. The only people that are going to go and try and do that, the only type of woman, is a feminist woman. So even if OnlyFans wasn't there for them to try to make money on, the amount of feminists is the same.
But there's really feminism
is the problem, the ideology.
I get what you're saying.
And no matter whether the men are completely moral or not, that lie of feminism has been swallowed by the woman.
For sure. And I agree. And I do believe that feminism is a thing. Let me just say really quick. Oh, finish your point. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Well, because of that is why I believe that the fault is completely on the woman.
Well, see, the thing is that the women, here's the thing. This is where I disagree, Jaime, is that the women get away with feminism. Feminism, they shouldn't get away with it, but they do. And that's the evil within leading the way. So they get away with it, and because the light that's supposed to be in men and in other women is not present, so it can't defeat the evils of, you know, the agenda of feminism and stuff like that. So that's not the problem. It's the lack of the light that's the problem to me. And of course, feminism is a thing to where it can be destructive, and we're seeing it. But that's only because the light is not present anywhere. The light, it has no competition. And feminists think that they're feminists and that they hate men, but they don't even realize that they're actually following men. They're actually serving men, right? to get their agenda off, they need men, and men are the one that's giving them the space to be what they are and the money to be to live how they want, all that stuff. They're still following the lead of men, just in their evil way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, but I'll push back a little.
Yeah.
If Jesus himself, the light of all lights, came back,
yeah,
the feminist would still not see.
Now, some of them would, but yeah, there's some that still would.
If Jesus himself came back, they still would not see. So your argument about the light and men becoming the light is null.
Well,
it's not the men; it's the women.
I mean, I can agree that there would be still some feminists, probably, right? There would still be some people who are, don't follow God or follow the light, sure. But I still think that it would be no competition. It wouldn't be out of control like we see it today. It wouldn't be as many because if there were strong people amongst, it just couldn't penetrate. So
yeah.
I can't blame. I just to blame the feminists, like that would be like saying like that if the feminists are at fault, then that's also saying that the devil wins. That the devil is the one that's in control of whether society flourishes or not. Instead of saying that, well, if men were strong, then God would be in charge. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Calls are coming in, but go ahead, finish your point, Hyman.
I'll just go one more. No, I think you got it. Women, if the problem with the society right now is society is so good. And it's so easy to live in this society. Back 100 years ago, there wasn't OnlyFans, and it's not because there were no computers. That too, but, the whole idea of OnlyFans, there were, prostitutes, say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like this. And the OnlyFans website and those things, those are prostitutes, say.
Yeah.
Okay?
No,
they
for
are.
Sure.
And so the reason isn't because of the internet. That's not the reason why it's so popular. It's because there's no accountability.
Yeah.
And it's because of the Marxist movement. And it's because a woman can have it easy today. Back 100 years ago, women counted on men to protect them.
Yeah.
Now you don't need a man to at least survive.
Yeah, no, that's true. And that's
now women aren't
a rise. That's a rise in the feminism, right? The feminism, because of that, which it is true, it is all that you're saying, and because of that, it has gotten to a place to where, like, all you got to do is just present to a young teenage girl power and independence, and they're gonna just fall right for it, especially those that don't have fathers around. But if there's enough young girls that have fathers around or young ladies that understood the truth, they would just naturally reject those things that are evil and wrong, especially if they're, innocent and impressionable and open. So, I don't think that feminism is a problem. But I got some calls filling up. So last point.
One last thing. One last point. I think that it's the women that have to teach the women and not the men that have to take it upon themselves to do it. It's got to come from the women's side.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, good conversation. Thank you.
Yeah. Call me again, man.
Bye.
The women got to teach the other women. That's for sure. The women got to teach the other women, but who's going to teach those women? It has to be the fathers. It has to be the husbands. It has to be the big brothers. It has to be, I'm telling you, if God passes the light down to the men first and the men relay the message to the women, and it's not personal. It's just how it is. Man, lines are full. But so I'm gonna try to move through these calls. Let's go to you guys love to call me at the end of the show, but that's okay. We're gonna move through it. James from New York, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
All is well. How are you?
One thing I just want to touch on with I have two subjects. I'll try and be quick. With what you were just talking about with the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah.
I kind of get why girls do it because, comparatively in that line of work, the opposite would be becoming a hooker or a stripper or putting yourself in dangerous areas or maybe that's what this is something they can do from home in their in a safe space, so I get it why there's probably a lot of women going to the OnlyFans instead of living that kind of life that requires you to probably be in more dangerous situations that can affect you. And honestly, as long as these women are paying their taxes, I guess make your money and contribute, because imagine if they weren't doing it and they're not able to contribute at least to society and I guess a financial way, and be making less or having to do really crazy stuff. I can imagine in a physical place.
No,
there's no way to stop it.
Well, I respect the I guess the optimism that you have of just understanding why, because I tend to like to look for that more side of things to understand, what's going on, and understand that there's reasons why people do these things, and it's not just as straight black and white. But I will say is that I don't want to go too loose with it and say that it's okay to that they just are freely doing it as long as they're paying taxes. I do think that there is a responsibility. There's a responsibility to people to be aware of themselves enough to work on themselves and eventually overcome, and understand that there's also people who look up to them and young kids and all that stuff. So, but I do think that we just shouldn't make it, we shouldn't criticize or judge, basically what I'm saying, so harshly as if it's just this, major thing. And there's more to it than what the eye sees. But go ahead.
Yeah, from a woman's perspective, I just think it's the safest form of doing that kind of work where you can optimize making the most money while not putting yourself in bad situations that a lot of women who probably aren't as pretty or can't do the stuff or have the following or whatever do. But I'm not saying I agree with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from a woman's standpoint, I can see, it makes sense. The second thing is, I want to talk about was just women following men, and if women don't want to follow men, I feel like they have to sacrifice their femininity to do that. Because in the animal case, with female animals or whatever, you really can't always tell them apart from the men because they're yoked. They're just as dangerous. They're not worried about the way they look. They're not trying to be skinny or frail or look like they can't defend themselves. These are very strong creatures that can mess anything up, including the males. So, and I think in that case it also translates to women, people, because women who go to the gym or learn how to fight or learn some kind of martial arts, those chicks are really intimidating, especially the ones who are dangerous or active fighters or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't really hear much in stories about a female fighter being attacked by someone or or something like that, because they give off that masculine or that vibe of I can handle myself.
So I'm missing the point. I'm missing the point. Are you saying that's good or bad? What are you saying?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying if women don't want to follow men, they gotta they have to make a sacrifice to where they won't need a man to follow.
Yeah.
Because everyone's saying, oh, women need men to protect them or whatever this. But the thing is, yeah, that's true if you don't want to, do the hard work or take the risk or sacrifice to be able to defend yourself or make money for yourself or do whatever for yourself.
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand is I don't understand why, women are and maybe they don't, I don't think that they truly understand what's going on because, why any woman would want to sacrifice her femininity for being independent or I know that they're trying to survive because men are weak and they're not helping them. They're not, they're not doing much to their part. So I can understand that, but it's like, it is a big sacrifice to just a woman being a woman, and it changes the way their skin looks, the way they act, the way they talk, and it really working against their natural nature. And I can't find it in me to understand why anybody would want to do that other than the fact that they don't realize that that's exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm so out of time.
They want to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Make your point really quick. I just got to move the calls.
Yeah, no problem. I think what it is they just want to have their feet in the water and be out at the same time.
Oh yeah,
and that's what most people always say. They want the benefit of their femininity of being a woman and all that stuff, but then they also want to that unearned sacrifice that all men have to deal with. Where there's no mercy for men. It really doesn't something you can get.
100%, James. I appreciate that. It makes a lot of sense. And thanks for calling me, man. Call me again.
Yes, sir. Be safe, Joel.
All right, you as well. Yeah, I agree. Wanting best of both worlds and wanting to, and that does come from the feminist ideology too. It's these teachings in the mind as well, that when you don't have a father and you're grounded, right, in truth and understanding and the light, all these false teachings of feminism in the world, poison the mind, and now you're starting to chase all these things that you shouldn't be chasing. So feminism is a big part of it as well. Let me go to Kohlberger Art. Oh shoot. I think out of California. First time caller, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Oh, I hung up on somebody at line 3. If you can call back, sorry, caller. Go ahead, Kohlberger.
Hey, Joel. About the spiritual order, I really think Satan, I think his whole mission is just to get something from God. So he'll use a woman to give the man what he wants. Yeah. And my belief is if the man didn't want what the women are giving, they would change.
Yeah. You mean if they didn't, if the man didn't want from the woman, then meaning what though? If he didn't search for her, seek after her, or what do you mean?
Okay, so let's say the man wanted that perfect woman truly in his heart.
Yeah.
Clean, pristine, and well behaved. She would instinctively know that, and it would become a trend to become that woman, that perfect, well-behaved woman. But the truth is, deep down in the man's heart is not what they want. They want that slutty, voluptuous OnlyFans girl. That's why it's happening. And men that can't afford that, they get jealous, incel style. And men that can afford it and can't get the real thing, like the pristine woman, they rather choose the other one. So it's a matter of wanting. What does the man want? And the woman is there to tell you that.
Well, do you think that there's a chance that there are men who want the right woman or want the woman that's gonna, be a good mother and raise their children, but yet they're conflicted with the ego and the desires and the fantasies, and they just can't. They don't know how to shed that. Do you think that that's possible?
I think first of all, it's an idea of having the perfect woman and family. It's an idea, and when the real fact is when you presented with a sexy woman and the idea, the sexy woman will win.
Yeah.
So in your heart,
that's a good point.
It's nice to say the idea is good, but in reality, you have to actually put it to the truth. So you have to actually, the actions, men really have to start looking at OnlyFans. It really has to be non-profitable. You can't make any money of it anymore. So the women will realize, we need to change our style. And they will.
Yeah.
They will. They're highly adaptable beings. And we're just complaining. We're like beta men complaining about OnlyFans. And it's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Just stop watching it. It's that simple. Stop feeding money into it, because whatever you feed money into will grow.
Well, I appreciate it, Cole Berger. Good points on that. I'm just so I like a few minutes left after finishing this calls. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling. Call me again. Good points.
Cool. All right. Later.
All right. See you. Great point about the idea. You know what I mean? Both are ideas, whether it's the perfect wife or the perfect fantasy. They're both ideas. You know what I mean? It's a great point. And we think we want more than the other, but it's still the same place. It's still want. So interesting. Good point. Crap. Ryan, you have an interesting call, at least your topic. And I don't think I'm going to have time to get to that specific thing today. So save that for tomorrow. Call me as soon as possible tomorrow, early on, so I can get into that, because that looks like we're going to have some time to talk about it. So call me tomorrow, Ryan, or this week if you can. Let me go to Gray out of Los Angeles. Gray, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Joe? Thank you for taking my call.
All is well. Oh, no problem, Greg. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just, I got to get something off my chest, man. Like, so, I had this, friends with benefits thing going on, you know, for like a year or two now. And, the girl she comes over the other day and she's like bawling her eyes out. And, just to keep it quick, she ended up telling me that she had cheated on me. But then I said to myself, I was like, well, we're not really together, so it's not really cheating. But then I told her, I was like, and don't worry about it. It doesn't affect me, because that's something you have to live with. I understand why you do why you might do that, because this is not a real serious thing.
Yeah.
But it kind of begs the question, like, I didn't care, and I wonder if that's ego, that I didn't care.
Is it ego that you didn't care? I don't think that it's ego that you didn't care. I think that you should not care. I think that you shouldn't have a feeling about it. And a big reason why you might have not care is because if you truly, even though nobody should be caring in general, right? That's a great place to be. But you would feel maybe a little bit differently about it if you actually liked the girl or had like a certain amount of respect for her. Because in those relationships that we get in that we're not taking serious, and all men can relate. I don't care what they say, but anybody that that's doing it, they don't really care for the person. Period. Meaning, like, it doesn't matter. They just want what they want from it, and so on and so forth. So I think that there is an element, if I'm making sense, there's one part of it that is good that you don't care, and we should have that same not care in all elements of life. But there's another part of you really don't care because you don't care about that person, because you're not interested in that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So that begs the question, like, so we all know these titles are made up: girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband. But so what if a girlfriend cheated on you? Does that give you a right to get angry at her, or as somebody who's overcoming? Do we understand why humans do what they do and look past it? And if you're looking past it, does that mean you become cold? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to think, like, I don't care, but I don't care because I understand why you would do something.
Oh, I just realized, and I got to say it really quick because I'm out of time. Is that the great thing about what's happening now, and I'm not saying what you're doing is good or bad, but the great thing about what you're doing, the great thing about that perspective is that there's no expectations from it. There's no expectations. It just is what it is, right? And that's how all relationships should be approached. Now, of course, there's like, certain things that you do and don't do, but you're not supposed to have an expectation. And when there's no such thing as a person cheating if they're boyfriend and girlfriend. For one, boyfriend and girlfriend is just a false title that's been taught by the world. Marriage is the only thing that's legitimate in the eyes of God. So if you're not married, that process is just getting to know a person. So if they cheat or whatever, quote unquote cheat, that's not them cheating. That's you realizing that they're not ready for something serious. So they should have the freedom on both ends to see if they like you, see if they like you and other people, see if they can be, you know what I mean? That's all part of the process of deciding if you're going to marry a person or not. So it's not cheating.
Yeah. I appreciate that perspective, bro. Yeah, I just wanted to get that off. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I appreciate you taking the time.
If you want to get more into it, because it's a great conversation, call me tomorrow and we'll get into it.
I'll try to call in tomorrow, bro.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, I got to go way out of time. American Anchor Baby's coming in. Man. I wanted to... but I got to go. Joel Friday TV across the board. Subscribe, share, follow. Love y'all. Bye.